IJM Corp says its subsidiary IJM Construction has lost a 1.12 billion ringgit contract for underground work on LRT3. The company was made the works package contractor for the Bandar Utama Johan Setia line last year and had commenced preliminary works before the project was suspended last June. IJM explained that the contract was terminated because the project was remodeled from a project delivery partnership model to a fixed price contract regime. It is consulting its advisors to seek legal redress. Apart from the potential earnings from the project, IJM says the termination of the project will not have any significant effect on the group's financial position. The government will be issuing bonds to fund its 6.2 billion ringgit takeover of 4 Klang Valley highways. Finance Minister Lim Guan Eng says collection from the planned congestion charge will be enough to repay the debt, so long as operational costs do not overrun to a level that requires the attention of the MOF. The plan is to impose the charge starting January 1, 2020, if the Cabinet gives its seal of approval to the proposal. During peak hours, the charge will be levied at a 30% discount compared to current toll rates, while off-peak hours will see highway users traversing for free. Lim adds that users of the 4 highways will enjoy savings of up to 180 million ringgit a year until the concession agreements end. Once the concessions are over, the congestion charge will be lowered to solely bear operational costs of the highways. And if the government's finances have improved, the charges will be completely abolished. Putrajaya is proposing to buy Gamuda's 4 expressways, namely LDP, Sprint, Kesas and Smart. However, according to Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, the Cabinet has yet to make a final decision on the takeover. Bank Negara held its key interest rate steady at 3.0%, saying the current stance of monetary policy remains accommodative and supportive of economic activity. This after it cut the overnight policy rates by 25 basis points in May. The central bank says it will continue to assess the balance of risks to domestic growth and inflation. It adds that the Malaysian economy grew within expectations in the first quarter of the year, while the baseline projection for expansion remains within 4.3% to 4.8% for 2019. However, it says this projection is subject to downside risks from ongoing uncertainties in the global and domestic environment, trade tensions, and extended weakness in commodity-related sectors. As for headline inflation, Bank Negara says it is expected to rise in the coming months as the impact of the changes in consumption tax policy lapses. For 2019 as a whole, average headline inflation is expected to be broadly stable compared to 2018. UMNO is reportedly in the process of selling off more of its holdings in several companies, Bernama reports, quoting its SecGen Tan Sri Anwar Musa. However, he declined to reveal more information, saying the matter came under the jurisdiction of the party's Finance, Assets and Investments Committee, chaired by Treasurer Datuk Sri Tengku Adnan Tengku Mansor. Anwar was quoted as telling the press today that there are efforts to sell the shares to certain bidders and that there will be full compliance to the SC's requirements. UMNO has sold 11.09% of its stake in Media Prima, as well as its 31.6% equity in Utusan Melayu Malaysia. Debt-laden PN17 firm Barakah Offshore Petroleum says Petronas has suspended the license of its unit's PBJV group. It says the national oil giant indicated that the reason for the suspension was because it received an adverse report from Petronas Carigali pertaining to the non-performance of PBJV in relation to the contract for the provision of underwater services. That sparked Petronas' decision to suspend PBJV's license for 3 years with effect from the date of the letter. The implication of the move is that Petronas, its subsidiaries and any petroleum arrangement contractors will not award any new contracts to PBJV during the suspension period. Barakah says it will appeal against the suspension.